Good afternoon. This is Earl. This is Earl, but this is afternoon where I am. I'm in Arizona. We're going to be flying from back in Alaska. We're going to redo our flight that we did yesterday from St. Petersburg to Ketchikan. Hopefully, we won't have the same eventful landing that we had yesterday. Definitely was not prepared for that landing there. So what I did was I installed the Ketchikan rental, which is a third party I bought from explain.org, and I just uninstalled it. So we're going to be landing into the default airport today and see if that's going to improve our situation. All the other, this is a third party add-on, and here at this airport, and weeds and all, still like it. Today, we're going to be flying an A320 instead of an A319. Few more passenger loading, and to get there. Basically, it's kind of the same aircraft. I think it's just a little bigger. But nevertheless, it's still going to be the same 41-minute airtime allotted for us. And so let's kind of get this show on the road. Here, we're going to be using the CFM LEAP. I think I had a CFM 56 C7 yesterday. So it's nice we have options. And the A320 gave us a couple more options than the 319. I do like the 319 and a lot. And let me see. Today I'm also going to be using Fly with Lua. I added that today. I am so terrible with these, so it's just going to be a wild shot in the dark. Hopefully everything's going to work out well.
On behalf of X-Plane Addicted and Passenger FX, welcome aboard.
Yeah. Okay. So there we go. Fly with Lua. And let's see if we can get everything working for us and be our bestest buddy. Okay. We go ahead and get our initiation out of the way here. Download a few things. Okay. As you can see, we had the Air Canada livery. I looked, but I could not find the Alaska Airlines livery for the A320 either. I thought that Alaska may have flown an A320, definitely not an A319. I could be wrong. I know that they have the obviously the 737s. When I was a child, I used to fly the 727s, both the 100 and the 200s. Then I saw that what they were using the 100s that would fly from Anchorage to Prudhoe Bay, and the 727-200s flew everywhere else until they went to the 737s. And now that they bought Hawaiian Airlines, they've got a whole new fleet, and they're international now. You can see Alaska Airlines in England. But for some reason, I thought they had an A320, but I couldn't find that livery. And if anyone can get a hold of it, please send me a note. Let me know where I can get it, because that'd be kind of a nice to have, especially if I'm going to be flying in and about. But because of the fact that we're right next to the Canadian border here, because just over the mountains is Whitehorse, so it's like, okay, well, why not? We'll just use Air Canada, and maybe eventually someday just fly over to Vancouver from one of these locations here and go from there. So let me see. Got that. Everything's good here. Go ahead and take care of that since I'm here. Let's see. We're going to be flying directly out of here. It looks like runway 5. No SID whatsoever. Sometimes it's kind of tempting to take the one that is there just being an idiot, but it's still, the child in me wants to do it. Okay, so according to our flight plan, though, we're not going to be coming in ILS 11. We're going to be RNAV 29, 29er. So let's go ahead and do that. And so I guess we're going to overfly 11 and loop around and land in 29. That's got to be kind of fun considering we're right on the edge of the mountains. But if I don't have any piloting skills, I guess I'm going to have to learn them or crash my airplane. One or the other. Okay, so there's that. Let's go ahead and make sure the white imbalance is and no, there's no rain or anything out there. It's just cold. 2964. Let me go ahead and set the altimeter while I'm here. Okay, back to compute for me. Oh my goodness. Okay. Flat setting 3. Well, this isn't a short runway, but okay, well, I guess it's a bigger airplane, same engines, but bigger airplane. I'm not flexing at all. We're going to be going toga, so no need to even worry about that. Okay, so so let's get our North American noisemaker going. Okay, it's morning here in Alaska, according on my air time here. So we're looking at the crack of dawn and watching the sunrise over this beautiful mountain peak. I am so impressed with this map enhancement and the ground layer. We've got a little frosting on the ground here and everything. There was a temptation at one point to go up this street just to see where it goes. That's just the 80 HD in me that just says I have to know what I'm seeing. Okay, so here we go. We've got that going. What is the outside temperature anyway? Just out of curiosity, 0 degrees. I remember living in Alaska at times where we'd end up saying it warmed up to 0. Doesn't make sense from the perspective of living here in Arizona, but at that time it definitely did. Okay, so co-pilot, no, go and 2964. 2964. Okay, just want to make sure that we're all using the same equipment here. Okay, parking brakes are on. Brakes are 0. Okay, just making sure everything is down. go ahead and take care of that while I'm at it. No. Okay, so let's. Go ahead and get those chocks out of the way. Alrighty, so we want to get the ground equipment out of here now. Just want to make sure all the doors are closed. Looks like our equipment's getting away from the airplane as well. Okay, so no fences today as far as our wings on the airplane. How is this plane configured? Okay. Okay, so let's get the route loaded on our map. Wish there was a faster way to get to the bottom down here. Go. Okay. Okay. So roughly here's our route where we're gonna take off, fly around a mountain, fly around another mountain, and head south and directly into Ketchikan. Because of the fact that we are coming in runway 29er, so come in there, Mike. One moment. So in this case, what we're going to do, instead of, this is 29er, and so instead of coming in this way, we're actually going to come in and run that way, our nav. So that will be interesting. Get up here, follow the plane. Okay. Alrighty. So let's go ahead and get these started up. I should have started them by now. Turning 1. Got rotation. In one bump. Got an EGT rise. got fuel flow, and then we have a light off. Okay, turning 2. Got an into rotation. Okay, got an EGT rise. Okay, number 1 is available. We just had to give it a little time to warm up. Okay, got a N1 bump. Got fuel flow, and looks like we got a light off. Yeah, the moment you start seeing that EGT rise, you have a light off. So you don't have a start or anything else. Making sure about the joystick movement. Check our flight controls right quick. Go ahead and close the bleeds, shut down the IPU, give it a bit, some lights, some turn off lights, get the rotating beacon on, which should have been on the moment we start the engines. And we're still waiting, but we're going to start rolling anyway. Great check. They look good from here. flaps. Making sure that we're clear.
Thank you very much for your attention. And now we invite you to sit back, relax and enjoy the takeoff. The captain has made tower communications available. So if you would like to monitor the air traffic system, just tune your radio to channel 9. And your headsets are in the seat pocket in front of you. We'll give you a little more information about our service plan for our flight as soon as we are in the air. Thank you and again welcome aboard.
For reject takeoff status. Okay. So other than okay. So as you can see, the engines aren't warmed up yet. Number 1 and number 2. Oh, wait a minute. Okay. It says my flight controls disagree. Oh my goodness. Absolutely forgot. Position 3. Okay. Actually, let me get over here real quick because I believe that was. Why is my plane on this side of the runway anyway? Instead of dead center. Told you, wheels. Okay. 0.4. The other way. Okay. Okay, everything is copacetic, hunky-dory, and all right. Let the cabin crew know. Get ready. So once we get on the end of this runway, I'm just gonna swing this puppy around and get it going. Put on the coals and get up and out of here. Especially with three bands of flap on. That's an awful lot of flap. But especially because of the length of this runway. There's plenty of room here, but I'm assuming it's because of the weight of the aircraft. Not that I was getting impatient, but yet, hey, let's get this show on the road.
100 remaining.
Okay. Okay. So we are in a position here. Let's get these big wheels rolling.
On runway 05.
Yes, we are. We're at a very low takeout rotation speed of V1. Definitely cleared a 50-foot hurdle. Love that view. Okay. Let me save a wee bit of fuel there. Put it back in the climb. Go ahead and sort of fully retract it down. Absolutely perfect. Okay, good morning, good morning. Okay. Normalize the plane real quick. Ignition off. Okay. Look at that view. Welcome to Alaska. You know, it's something when you're not from Alaska, people are like, oh wow, the views must be beautiful and whatnot. It's like, trust me, they are. However, when you see this same view every single day, it's just, it's a mountain with snow, big deal. But being as I'm not in Alaska, I'm back to this is awesome. You mean we took off with our strobes off? Shame on me. A little greenery on the mountains there. Let's take a look from the passenger seat. Okay, so okay, go ahead and turn the seat belts off. Let the flight attendants move around. Passengers stretch their legs. Run to the restroom real quick.
Ladies and gentlemen, we have now passed the altitude of 10,000 feet. All electronic devices may now be switched off from airplane mode. This aircraft is equipped with Wi-Fi. Please see a flight attendant for more information.
Can this baby get up and go or what? And make sure our landing's good to go while the plane is still trying to climb. Right now 2946. Let's instead of 640. Okay. Don't be giving me a hard time now. What can I say about Alaska that hasn't been said before? Okay. Miles and then 62, so we've got 80 miles to go before top of descent. Okay, it's about roughly 15 minutes. Great, there's plenty of time to wet my whistle. I'll be right back.
Altimeter setting.
ladies and gentlemen. We will shortly be serving you with cold drinks and a light snack.
Okay. I love how they say lady and gentleman. There's only one lady on this plane apparently, and one guy. So everyone else just doesn't count. Okay. Alright. So since they're handing out cold drinks, I have one myself. And then like having a nice sweet Pepsi to hit the spot when you don't have Dr. Pepper available. Alrighty, so let's go ahead and get us updated here. How much time do we have anyway? 38 miles for top of descent, so that's 5 or 10 minutes, if that. So let me get this show on the road. Alrighty. Blistering -1, so we dropped a degree since we took off. Good thing is we'll be landing in relatively calm conditions, as in absolutely calm conditions. Okay. Alrighty. 130 feet. So my decision height, I usually roughly do like 250 above, so 380. Okay. Tough part is there's no chart for that. Runway in the Ketchikan. Which is why I overrode it yesterday and said, now let me go in 11, because I'd never flown into it before. Oh my goodness, I stand corrected. There is a RNAV for runway 29er. So let me get some information from it real fast. Okay. Alrighty. Give me some height on that. Thank you. It's a good thing I did check on that. Well, excuse me. Bada bing. Okay, so right above Doozy, we're at 22,000 feet. be doing a managed approach. Hopefully everything will be okie dokie. I kid you not, these clouds are becoming more and more impressive. I never thought much of clouds. I thought they're clouds, big deal. And how everyone always made they look like cotton balls. I just don't like the way they look. They're so ugly compared to Microsoft. And it's like, I got Microsoft, and it's not like, I don't know, I'm going to church and praising God because they've got some great clouds. They're just clouds. So it's like no big deal, but I gotta say these are kind of impressive. A little bit more than before. Before they just like, well, I love that change of weather. If you don't like the weather, wait a minute. But before, the clouds were just big gray slab that you off in the distance. 3 miles, 2 miles. Okay, for the top of descent. Okay. Okay. So let's go ahead and bring her down. Okay. Alrighty. So I've let the cabin know, hey, under no uncertain terms, we're coming down. Down through the fluffy stuff. Let's go ahead. That was one thing I did notice yesterday coming in was it was a managed approach. However, we came in pretty hot as opposed to what we should have. So, and with coming in on RNAV instead of ILS, which means there's fewer, safety margins now, as far as I'm concerned. I guess we'll have to watch it. Go take a quick look here. Did I miss something? Okay. So, let's see. 340 at 9 knots. So why is this way? I know I'm not reading this correctly. It's broken at 37, minus 0, dew point minus 4, 2946 altimeter. Okay. 1616 Zulu time.
Altimeter setting.
Okay. Wow, really? Easy to forget, you know. So used to long hauls where you're doing 30,000 and above that it's so strange to actually be coming down at 22,000 so low. Okay, let's see. $44 miles. Okay. So, like I said, we're gonna fly over the airport and then loop back around and come back in. Okay. And there we are right here, flying over the airport, according to our map, at 10,000 feet. Okay, we should be descending to 5 within the next 17 miles. Zikmu is where we're going to be making our U-turn. It's roughly at about 6,000 feet elevation. Okay, once we make our U-turn, we're going to be dropping down 21 miles out. So, okay. Works for me. Sorry. That back on. Okay. So we've normally they call breakout when you're breaking through the clouds, but that's usually when you're climbing. I'm curious if it's the same when you're descending, if it's also breakout. Okay. We're at 240. So we should be decelerating pretty soon. So once should be about here at Gator. 35 on the way back. So we will have dropped 200, but I'm not sure. We're going to be decelerating on the way out or inbound. Guess we'll find out. One of the things I do miss about Alaska is that, say, living in Anchorage, when it rained, I don't recall a time where it's one of those where you go, "Oh my God, it's raining out there." Of course, if you were born and raised in Alaska, you'd be saying that. But for those of us who really know what horizontal rain looks like, it's a good drizzle, good spring pour. It's drenching. It's definitely that. But okay, we're about right on. Good deal. It is a good pour, but thunder, I only heard it, the turbulent air over the mountains, and that's the only place actually that I saw lightning in Alaska. It would be over the mountains. I was raised in Anchorage, so I was in the Basin area, and yeah, we never saw any thunderstorms or whatnot. So it was quite an adjustment to move to somewhere like the Midwest, where not only do you have those thunder boomers, but you also have tornadoes. And I was like, wow, there's wind damage? What is that? Because, and keep in mind that looking at the mountains, you can see the wind whipping the snow over it, and in fact forming the shape of clouds. What do they call that? Alto cumular lenticular. Looks like a lens of an eyeglass because of the wind over the mountains, shaping the shape of a cloud. So, but you never felt it on the ground, and so to move to somewhere where you have to deal with that, it's like, wow, this is foreign. I need to go. So Arizona. That's why I'm in Arizona. So I can look at all of that on the Weather Channel and not have to deal with it. Okay. We're still coming down, but our speed hasn't yet. $2,500. Absolutely. Okay, so it's saying that we're going to be roughly 168. So, okay. How's that? Get the. Woohoo! Where'd that mountain come from? I'm really having to trust this computer now. Okay, we're at 200. Okay, it's position number 2. Okay. Alrighty. So now we got a 90-mile jog, a 9-mile, not 90. $2,500. Perfect. Okay, so we're full flaps now, and bringing her down. I hear you. You make a good point. However, okay. $2,500. Landing gears down. Got 3 reds. 1 green.
2,000.
3 greens. Perfect. Okay, let's get the brake set. I know it said low, but I'm taking it at medium. I kind of like split the difference here. What are we looking at speed-wise? 160, and I do believe I want to be a lot slower than that, but buddy. I'm actually off a bit.
1,000.
Thank you.
Sync rate. Sync rate.
Hundred above.
Okay.
Minimum.
You're a minimum.
$500.
Approaching 2-9.
Yes, we are.
$500.
Okay, we're on finals, so all brights are on. Oh yeah, cabin crew.
$400.
Mm-hmm.
$300.
Okay.
$200.
Why in the world was I aiming at the Pappies? Get a little jog over real quick.
100.
Perfect. Uh-huh.
50. 40. 30.
Long landing.
I
Long
know.
landing. 5,000 feet
20.
remaining.
Retard.
10.
5.
4,000 remaining.
Hey, wasn't me. Okay.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to our destination.
What is
For
up
your
with
safety
that?
and comfort, we ask you to remain seated until the captain has turned off the fasten seatbelt sign. Please
Okay.
check around you for any belongings.
We're gonna have
Also,
to
please
egress.
use caution when opening the overhead lockers, as items may have shifted during the flight.
Okay.
Thank you for flying with us, and have a
So,
pleasant day. Flight attendants disarm doors.
Okay. Well, alrighty. So we want to avoid that little last hiccup there. That we've had enough of those. If you call it the start of the flight, I did say that I had taken off the we're on the default airport. So okay. So sheer wall. Look at that wharf. Don't you make you want to just get out there and get your gear and your tackle and just go fishing? Put a big sign out there. Gone fishing. Okay. 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 And that's only to avoid the little fiasco that we had yesterday. Okay, go ahead and turn it off. 44 minutes. Okay, so 3 minutes over, but nevertheless, okay. Whoops. There we go. Crew oxygen. Okay. Okay. Okay, put the chocks on. Give me some emergency power. Haas. Okay. Okay, so let's go take a quick peek around. If they come baby our airplane. Okay, this is the default. There ain't a whole lot of difference between this and I kind of prefer this over the one that I paid money for. Huh. Well, that's what you get sometime. Learning lesson. Okay, so yeah, I didn't want to. I was being cautious because yesterday we kind of skidded down in there. We're not expecting that. Okay, so let's go ahead and save this flight. Matter of fact, because I might want to be shooting these a couple of times, so just one for prosperity's sake here. Last 30 minutes. 11. Okay. Okay. So I can practice those a little bit. It's flying next to the mountains was pretty interesting, all on its own. Let's go ahead and do a replay real quick while they're coming back around. 114. Oh, 3 minutes here. Well, that was pretty impressive. Oh, that's because I was on the end of the runway. Okay. Okay. And if I recall, it was kind of a long landing, right? Not quite that long. Okay. Get that out of the way. Let's go see what kind of landing we have here. Oh, wait. Bringing the camera pretty close to the touchdown point. Kind of guessing, it's like, how far where do you think you landed? That was another long landing, so we may have to get another letter from the main office. Like, hey, we need to talk to you about this long landing. You do know what touchdown zone means, right? So, okay, it's where I did a little offset. Oh my goodness. That was oh my. Wow. It looks very eventful even from the side. Okay, let's get a view. Okay, there we go. This is from the tower view. Is that a ship dock or just a boat dock there? A ferry or something. Okay, so it's just coming down, looking pretty nice. I gotta say, not to toot my own horn, but that was kind of a sweet little landing. Once we brought it down, it's just That's a lot of air. Okay. Whoa. Okay. Okay, so look at those flaps. Fully tricked it. There we go. Here we go. Here we go. Wow. Flying around the mountain. I have a tendency, whichever wing dips. Okay. I believe we're in number 2 position there. That's tree. Okay, now we're full flaps. Okay. It's amazing. Landing gears down. Okay. So realistic. Okay. Once again, I like the landing. Definitely kind of long, but I'm good with that. But yeah, that's an e-ticket ride at Disneyland any day. Okay. Look at that flag, just kind of there. Although it is kind of pointing to the left there. It's been nosy. Okay, so let's just go ahead and talk about reality on that. That was very inconsiderate of me to come in here with my radar on and okay. So we're good. Make sure all the lights are off, right? All the lights are off. Okay. Now if they're a fly with two are off or okay. No, we're not going to the Netherlands. Alrighty, so there we go. Our flight. Alrighty, hope you enjoyed it. It was kind of entertaining for me. Stuff. I always enjoy flying around Alaska, and probably until I get bored. I don't know what to do about that runway or how to fix it or anything. I was hoping just by removing the third party that would take care of it, but it didn't. So, I don't know. But nevertheless, though, it was an enjoyable flight. Hope you enjoyed it. You have yourself a great day. Bye.